Okay, stop asking ChatGPT to write me an email. Today, I'm going to let ChatGPT-5 that's just come out build a complete Klaviyo flow, segments, copy, timing, A/B tests, even flow exclusions, all in under 10 minutes. And if it works, this is probably going to be your easiest $10,000 this quarter. And I'm saying $10,000 as a minimum, depending where your brand is at. Usually flows that are created this way, and the way I've created flows before, can generate over $100,000 to $200,000. So let's get into it. Why can you trust me? At Hays, we scale brands. Personally, I'm head of retention at Hays, and we scale brands with email and SMS from 7 to 8 figures and 9 figures and beyond. Here's a brand with a 10x result before and after working Hays, 31,000 to 311,000. Another brand, 120 to 681. And we have brands doing just under $300,000 per month through email, and customer retention rate as well, close to 50%. They're at 41.5. So let's get into today's video. I have built, just for intro and context of what we've got, we built a DTC email marketing expert in ChatGPT. And I'm going to give you everything from the files to the instructions to the prompts of how you can have your own GBT, do all of your, kind of act as an assistant, you could say, for all your email marketing needs. Now, first of all, like I said, stop asking ChatGPT now for simple emails. We're at GPT-5. It can build complete flows, campaign cadences, calendars, everything in minutes. Based on OpenAI's website and also through the testing I've done over the last 24 hours, you can see it's got improved instruction following and larger context, better tool use, and much longer memory. Agentic reasoning, basically multi-step tasks. So it can basically reason with itself to know what steps it needs to take to achieve the overall goals. Obviously, the way it communicates, verbosity and reasoning controls as well are massively improved. I'm not going to go into the benchmarks and everything on the OpenAI website. They had a big keynote yesterday, which I suggest you go have a look at summary of. We're just going to focus more on the, what it actually feels like to use. And so here's the setup of data. We've got a data pack, which I've used an example data pack here. Basically, everything from the first name, last order date, days since last order, orders in the past 90 days, the average order value, total that they've spent in the last 90 days, whether they used a discount, what's their shipping status, a customer type, whether they're typical, high spender, discount seeker, refunder, have they made any refunds in the last year, and their LTV count. Now, this is all data you can get within Shopify and also data you can get within your Klaviyo. Klaviyo also have advanced analytics now, which I recommend you getting. It allows you to get more deeper insights into your customers' behavior. Once you get that, put it in all in a spreadsheet in this kind of example. I'll link this table as well into the description. So if you want, you can fill out this spreadsheet with all your customer data, whether you're a brand owner, email marketer, or a copywriter, and you can get access to this information. You can train your GBT on this, and I recommend doing it. Second is the triggers. So this is we're going to be doing a post-purchase flow, which is a post-purchase event with shipping confirmation timings included. Filters, we're going to exclude refunders and any serial discounters, and then flows, we're going to be doing 3 emails over 14 days with the target of an LTV lift. Okay, we've got our basically pie chart here based off the data example. Next slide. Right, so first draft. Let's get into the speed run. We'll get straight into GBT now. So we have segmentation, timing, and subjects. GBT-5, from my experience, it generates a complete draft in seconds using minimal reasoning. Literally, the speed of this thing is wild. So what we're going to do, first, we're going to create a project. So I've already done that here. You can create a project by clicking new project here. And what you do is you click on list of instructions, copy this list of instructions here. It's basically all the up-to-date information, Google, Apple kind of guidelines and restrictions, as well as Klaviyo insights. A lot of it is based on Klaviyo. So if you're using Iterable, or if you're using maybe SendLane, then you might want to just tweak this instructions, ask ChatGPT to tweak it on the recent up-to-date information on your ESP, whatever you're using, MailChimp, etc., etc. But this is based off of Klaviyo. We're going to train it, just copy and paste it into the instructions. And now we have our DTC email marketing expert. It's been trained on the data that I've got here. It's also been trained on some top performing subject lines, which you can get in the description if you want. And yeah, we can basically start talking to it. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to train it on the brand. Okay, so I will provide you, this is on the prompts from our previous video I did, but basically we're going to get it to research a brand that of our choice. So if you wanted to create an email marketing expert for the brand that you specifically are working on, you can do that. So first of all, we'll prompt and we'll include a website. So let me just pick a brand. Okay, awesome. So I've just picked a brand here, Kai's Concepts. They basically sell nutritious bars or healthy and is consumable goods, which is always good when it comes to retention. Now, yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to train the GPT on this brand, insert the website here, and then click go. Let's see how long this takes. So I've put on thinking. Now, you can choose between thinking and just the flagship model. The flagship model is a lot quicker. The reason I'm putting on thinking right now is because I want ChatGPT to take its time on the result. Usually if you put on thinking mode, it spends more time on the project and gives you a better overall result. Now, if we're going to create a flow for a brand, right, and it's going to be generating lots of revenue, we want it to think as much as possible. I think that's a no-brainer. So I'm going to wait now, let it finish its results, and then I'll tell you how long it took once it's finished. Okay, so it took 46 seconds, which actually, when I was using this previously in ChatGPT-4, would take around this time to get a full lowdown of what we want. Again, it's done research. GPT is really good now with researching websites, different websites, review sites, everything. It doesn't just go to the website now. It actually goes one step further, which again is starting to do. One of the main values we have at Hays is that you go above and beyond. And now ChatGPT is doing that without even being prompted, which is a massive step in the right direction, I think. So it's given us all the information, and now it basically understands the brand from a high level view, its core identity, its values, missions, vision, the kind of target audience that it would obviously target. Now, if this is incorrect, you can basically just train it on your target audience and data that you maybe got from meta ads and stuff like that. So I wouldn't just rely purely on its target audience profile that ChatGPT gives me. I would obviously make sure that I speak with my ads team here at Hays. I make sure, hey guys, can you give me the target audience profile that's currently up to date that you guys are targeting? And I'd feed it that information. Tone and voice, brand personality, again, is something that you can double check, but usually is pretty good. But if the client has specific words they don't use, or specific phrases that they use, you can also include that. Competitive landscape, again, really cool here. It's brought out some really good other competitors. And I think it's a really good start. So we've got it trained on the brand. It's done some research. So the next step now is to basically go into the other prompts, which is underneath ChatGPT instructions. Okay. And then we have the setup and data. So I want it to search the data that I've given it and confirm that it knows what we're basically the customer types we're going to be creating this flow on first. Loaded into your knowledge and setup. Okay, keep it concise and actionable. Again, I'm going to pause it and we'll come back once it's finished. Okay, so it thought for 48 seconds. It's read back to me what I uploaded and how we'll use it. So columns detected. Again, it's all correct. Yeah, discount used. Yes, no, perfect. I mean, ChatGPT could never do this last year. It would always get it wrong. It'd start hallucinating. I mean, I can't read it. Minimal setup. Upload the CSV file as properties. Okay, we don't really need to do that, but you can if it's not already in Klaviyo. Again, segments reusable. Create these segments. So we have the master exclusion, high spender, new customers, repeat customers, top products. Amazing. Okay. So it's literally given us how to set up the post-purchase flow. So what we could go from here, go into Klaviyo, put the trigger set as essentially here, we would have it as either the order confirmation, being placed order in this case. You can have other ones as well, but these could actually be in the filters section. So cross-sell, delivered in product-specific windows. Again, I'm not really sure about this point here. Okay, shipping status is shipped out for delivery. Okay, all right. So this is going on based on the set, I guess, several different flows. So you could have a deliver post-purchase flow that is just based off and placed order. And then another one, maybe this a cross-sell flow, which is more when the order's been delivered. But this is good. So it's giving me a quick to-do list on what to do, build the segments, compute top 5 SKUs, create the 4 triggers, placed, fulfilled, delivered, time-based, launch with a 5-10% holdout, and then track these metrics here. I trade offers. Wow, that's amazing. Really cool. So in this case, where it's saying create the 4 triggers, just to kind of clarify this for anybody who's a bit unsure, it is going into the idea of creating multiple post-purchase flows based on where they are in their journey. Okay. Now, what you could do is you could create one flow, say with the placed order, and then use splits inside for like a fulfilled delivery, a delivered delivery, or a time-based delivery. But usually the way you want to do it is you split out the flows separately so you can track the results differently. And it's easier then to make sure that flows aren't conflicting. At least that's what I found. But again, you can do it however you like. I've seen brands do it either way and they both give it the same results. But these are the main things we're focusing, because you talk to the customers differently where they are in the journey, in their post-purchase journey. All right, so this is great. I mean, it's super in-depth. It's, again, a lot of information to start with. But I like the quick to-dos, and you can also prompt it if you need more help. So let's move on to the second step. So that was a speed run. Basically, it's done everything from segmentation to timing. It didn't actually give us the subjects, if I'm right. No, it gave us the strategy, but it didn't actually give us subject lines or anything like that on the first draft, which is fine. But it's given us, basically what to do here. So place order, what to expect, product setup, use tips, first week wins plus soft cross-sell, review UGC request plus community. I mean, this is incredible. VIP invite if high spender. This is like really a high level strategy that's been created in minutes. So let's move on to the deep refinement. Okay, so we're going into here about A/B testing versus personalization, and also deliverability and compliance. So let's move on to, okay, apologies. We haven't even done the first draft speedrun prompt. I'm sorry, guys. That was actually just explaining the data. Wow. I mean, the way it came across, the way it given me was as if I just prompted it for the speedrun. Let's actually go back a bit. Sorry, the way it actually responded was very similar to a speedrun. So I'm going to get a quick answer here. And you can see, guys, this is all live. I'm not editing. I'm not making anything up. It's all live. So now the next step, we're doing the speedrun. And let's see if it actually did the subjects, which I was talking about, and the A/B test on the subjects. Oh, wow, it did. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, perfect. Okay, global follow. Exclude customer type refund. Exclude refund count past years 0, greater than 0, or less than 0. Exclude refund count is less than 0. I don't think that's right. It should be greater than 0. Exclude discount use equals yes in last 2 orders. Wow, amazing. Okay, now, again, you don't have to exclude discount seekers. I usually wouldn't, but maybe refunders, you want to make sure that you're not spamming them with emails. But in terms of discount seekers, I would say you just send them different content. If they've been using discounts on every order, maybe, you want to send them emails, or maybe you want to exclude them. It depends. I think you need to try that segment yourself and see what the unsubscribe rate is like, or see what their spam rate is like, or an engagement is like, if they're opening and clicking emails. If they're not, create a segment specifically on a discount seeker and just see how it performs, and see what the people, what the engagement report is like. Are they clicking? Are they opening emails or not? But anyway, let's get into the content. So email 1, order confirm, what to expect, what the trigger is, the timing, all allow customers, gives us a content focus, what we should be doing. A/B test subject lines, your order's in, thanks for your order. Amazing. I mean, email 2, put education and first use. So in this case, shipping status is delivered. Makes sense, right? Like, you wouldn't want to educate a customer on how to use their product if they haven't got it, to be quite honest. Could get them excited, but I think that's what the first email is about, right? The what to expect section. Whereas the second email, to keep delivering value and keep getting the engagement up, you want to make sure that it's delivered when they receive it. Imagine getting your product and then the same day or the day after you get an email saying, hey, it's on your doorstep. In this case, now that it's here, 2-minute tips for your new product. Yeah, I think it's going to be greatly appreciated, and it's good for retention. The third review makes sense, the next purchase. So here it's actually going into the segment filters. So on this email 2, it said if AOV is less than the 75th percentile, branch into high spender version VIP perks, or show standard content. So basically, in Klaviyo, how you would set this up is if they spend over a certain amount of your maybe average AOV. So if your average AOV is $80 and they spend, say, I know, $150, then you could say like, hey, you're in the VIP section. Or if they've purchased more than, say, 2 times or 3 times, then you could create a separate flow called like a VIP flow, which is like welcoming them in. But this is great to start with. It's sort of like telling us Like in this case, if they are a VIP buyer, you want to send them different content, not just the same stuff. And it's also for email 3, greater than 75th, 14 days after delivered. So if they are high purchasers, you could send them an email quicker to review because clearly they like your brand. And then if they're lesser than your VIP AOV or your higher AOV, then you want to give them more time to use the product. I mean, this is really good stuff. I mean, it's perfect. And it's following best practices in a lot of retention. And again, this is just 3 emails. So you can do more. And you can get ChatGPT to go really, if you have a list of segments, right? Say you're a subscription brand and you have people who are active subscribers, people who have been skipping subscriptions, people who maybe have skipped a few times but then bought again, or if people who are like, really hardcore people, you can feed your GPT on that information and it will specifically use it when it builds out the flow. We're just using an example here without actually having all the data. So really good stuff. Okay, so that was the speed run. Again, it's given us everything, the timing, the subjects, the segmentation. It's going to deep refinement. So the purpose of deep refinement is basically to make sure that compliance, deliverability is all good, from name, reply to, best practices. We're going to be using plain text here because usually nowadays plain text gets the best engagement versus design. Limit links and avoid spam terms, and we talked about this in other videos. Make sure we're authenticated, and then also making sure we have A/B tests ready to go live once the flow is up to make sure we're compounding our results. So let's go into the deep refinement. Again, super simple prompt. I'm going to do a quick thinking here just for the video. We're already at 20 minutes. It's supposed to be a 10-minute flow again, but I'm teaching you guys that you could do this all within 10 minutes. So post-purchase flow, 3 emails plus optional SMS. Already impressed. So global flow filters, all emails. Again, the same as this, but we're going more refined now, okay? So again, excluded refunders, excluded high discounters. Now, deliverability foundation to apply across all flow. The from name, brand, and context, Kai's team or Kai's orders. First email, simple plain text, letting the person know this is your order confirmation and this what's to expect. Change the from name. Put it as what it is. In this case, Kai's orders, right? Kai's team. Kai's team could be more educational content, how to use your product. Kai's orders can be more information about your order and shipping information, Consistent, avoid no reply, obviously. From email, an authenticated domain. Perfect. Ensure each email has matching text version. Link spelled out, no tracking pixels. Link hygiene, max 2 to 3 primary links. I mean, I'd even argue you only need 1, but 2 is okay as well if you need to. 1-click unsubscribe. Again, and most brands now have this auto applied in Klaviyo, so you don't have to worry too much. And reputation monitoring, again, just check that your spam rate, keep an eye on that spam rate. Awesome. A nice little checklist there. Email 1. Now, it hasn't written refine the draft for deliberately best person from name. The next step is copy. I'm just reminding my process here. So again, this is all live. I have, with this specific process, this is something that we're completely brand new with GPT-5. Again, I'm using everything that GPT-5 has given me and I'm feeding it back in. So right now, we're just refining it to get to the final result. Email 1 is the same as previous. We've got order confirm, what to expect. Everything else here is the same. The only difference being is we've got A/B testing themes. So in this case, we're doing authority versus social proof. This one's bundle versus spend and save. And then expiry timer versus stories. I think this is, to start with, it's using all the best practices of what A/B tests work well. Product education and first use. So I like the authority versus social proof. I like this. I'm curious about the second one. So add these 2 flavors for the perfect combo. It makes sense for this type of brand, consumable brand. So you can give them like an education on like 2 tips for your new products. Like maybe in this case, it's like, because it's an energy bar, you can be like when to use it, for example. But we'll let ChatGPT give us that information. I'm not going to do that. I'm just curious what it's going to give. But the bundle idea is cool because you can add more things, add more flavors to what you purchased. And this can also be personalized. And then spend, save. Again, if you want them to spend more and get free shipping on your next order. The only thing is you need to be careful with this one because I've used this with a brand before. And what we found was happening is people were buying more and then they were like, oh, I need free shipping on both orders or on this order. So again, it's clear here it's your next order. But we need to make that super clear by adding a disclaimer in the email. And that's just from personal experience. Customers will try things to try and get free stuff. It's fine. It's, we're human at the end of the day. But just to make sure that your customer team, support team aren't overwhelmed with requests, being super clear and adding disclaimers always helps. But this is great. Really overall super cool. And the optional SMS branch is amazing. So let's do the last prompt and see what happens. Write a plain text email for the first touch to the flow, including a subject line, etc., etc. Okay. Got a quick answer. Okay, so it's given email 1. Wow, this is amazing. I'm really impressed. Thanks for your order. Already getting your product name ready to ship from our kitchen here in... Wow. I mean, bloody EM dashes. That's the only problem. OpenAI, Sam Altman. We don't need these EM dashes, bruv. But still, overall, really cool. Really cool. Yeah, I mean, super simple. Obviously, I would go in here and tweak it. Maybe we want to make it more personal because this is very impersonal, right? It's like you could say, hey, it's Sandra from, the Kai's shipping team or fulfillment team or warehouse or even the kitchen. You can make it more personalized, add a human to it. It's probably my only feedback here. But yeah, and again, it showed you how to add the JSON in, basically a checklist of implementing it properly, and implementing it properly, adding UTMs, setting up A/B tests, scheduling, and then knowing what metrics to monitor for the first 2 weeks. I mean, this is going above and beyond. I believe whenever you set a new flow live, doesn't matter if you set it live today, tomorrow, you should always, always, always have an A/B test running from the get-go. I mean, if you already have if you already have flows live and you want to A/B test stuff, then this is you can use the same process and you can actually use these as A/B tests as well. But overall, amazing. So that's email 1. Let's say continue with email 2, see what it does. Yeah, you already then get a quick answer. Keeping the deliverability friendly and segment ready. Your product should be with you, know how to make the most of it. Best taste, store in a cool, dry place. Pair it up. Boom. Nice little soft sell there. I mean, I'm going to be out of work. Sam, okay, you got any jobs going, mate? No, this is great. This is awesome. And again, it's all the best practices, really. This is good stuff. And I love that it's personalized, product name, and it's you can even get more advanced with the personalization tips, but it's included that in there as well. And we know personalization and relevancy in email is how you get your people to engage and people to come back and buy more. Okay, final. Track these metrics, all your flows. Make sure you can do that today. Go have a look at these metrics for all your flows. Incremental revenue, flow revenue versus your baseline, CTR lift and SKU mix, and A/B test winners after 7 days. If you've got any of these metrics now running, if you've got any A/B tests running, all your flow revenue based on month over month, and also your CTRs, making sure they're above. Flow average is around 2 to 3%. Check all those. And if you need help with anything, refer to this video, refer to our other videos where we go into detail about all of that. Or you can download the DTC Vault below, which will help you scale your brand from 7, 8 figures, 9 figures above. We also have all the prompts that I've used in today's video in the description. Subscribe for more email growth tips. And if you want to work with Hayes and you want us to take all the heavy lifting off your plate, we will do. Apply for a growth consultation below with Jordan. And yeah, I look forward to speaking with you in person. But that's it for today's video. Take care, guys. See you in the next one.